Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, love, and salutations to you brothers out there preaching the truth and laboring in the truth and sincerity. And you Akwath, you sisters that listen and learn. Shalom. All right, so, I just wanted to make a real quick hit on this, Salaki. I had did a video on this before, but I didn't want to post it. I made some statements in there. I was like, let me just come at this at a different angle. Salaki. All right. Deuteronomy 23:17. There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the sons of Israel, And so, that's the point, Jill Scott, you doing this on stage is being a whore, This is something that you do in the secrecy of your own home. You don't show people your oral sex skills on stage in front of millions of men, That's wickedness, man. That's wickedness. That's whoredom, That's completely shameless, Ecclesiasticus 26:25. A shameless woman shall be accounted as a dog. What's a female dog? A bitch. But she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord. You ain't got no fear for the Lord, because the Most High said that he's gonna, he said that this is whoredom, man. What happens when you played a harlot in your father's house? What was the judgment for playing the harlot in the scriptures? Deuteronomy 22, and I'm gonna start above. Let's see, where is King James? 22 and probably 20. Oh no, I'm gonna start at I'm start at 13. Because this is how it used to go back in the day. Esau's turned everything on his head. Now, I'm not saying that I desire for our women to be put to death or nothing like that, but without grace and mercy, there will be a lot of dead women out here. Because according to the scriptures, you're only supposed to have one husband, and your dad's supposed to marry you off to that husband. But that typically doesn't go like that in this society. And everything just been turned upside down. Anyway, this is going to be Deuteronomy 22:13. If any man take a wife and go in unto her, have sex with her, and he hates her, and gives occasion of speech against her, and brings up an evil name upon her, and says, I took this woman, and when I came to her, I found her not a maid, then shall the father of that damsel and the mother take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity unto the elders of the city in the gate. So typically, when a marriage was consummated, there had to be tokens of virginity. A white sheet was laid down, and then when the hymen was burst, the blood would spill forth onto the sheet, and this would be proof that the woman was a virgin, that she was a clean, she was a clean woman. And the damsel's father shall say unto the elders, I gave my daughter unto this man to wife, and he hateth her, and lo, he hath given occasions of speech against her, saying, I found not thy daughter a maid. She wasn't a virgin. And this also shows you that maid and virgin are interchangeable, But in this case, it means that he's accusing her of having already had sex. And yet these are the tokens of my daughter's virginity. See, maid, virginity, In some cases, maid just means a woman of marriageable age. But in this case, as we can clearly see, it's talking about chasteness, actually whether or not she has sex. And they shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city, and the elders of the city shall take that man and chastise him. We're going to beat him up because he lied. And they shall immerse him in 100 shekels of silver. You got to pay for lying, and give them to the father of the damsel. Yeah, you give it to the father because you lied. You lied against. You're saying basically he sold you a bad product, for lack of a better way of saying it. because he hath brought up an evil name upon a virgin of Israel, maid, virgin, and she shall be his wife. He may not put her away all his days. But if this thing be true, and the tokens of virginity be not found for the damsel, if they had sex, the cloth was laid out, and there wasn't no blood spilled forth unto the sheet, then they shall bring out the damsel to the door of her father's house, and the men of her city shall stone her with stones, that she die, because she have brought folly in Israel, to play the whore in her father's house. So shalt thou put evil away from among you. So that's typically how things went, and this just shows you, because a lot of people look at Jill Scott like she's some type of good person. She's cool. She's, she's somebody to look up to. No, this bitch ain't nobody to look up to. She's a hoe. Look at her. Hey, now ain't nothing wrong with knowing how to do this stuff, but you don't go on stage and just show everybody, look what I can do. You see? Look at this shit, man. This ain't how you supposed to operate. And everybody knows what's going on at this point. She doing too much, man. Ecclesiasticus 9:4. Use not much the company of a woman that is a singer, lest thou be taken with her attempts. Gaze not on a maid, that thou fall not by those things that are precious in her. And give not thy soul unto harlots, that thou lose not thine inheritance. But the point is this, man. And of course, you're not supposed to give your strength to no woman. That's how who was it? That's how Solomon fell off, because he built temples to the idols of his different wives, and he began to worship them, and that's where his transgression was, and that's why he died. He gave them their soul. He gave them his soul, basically. He gave in to them. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to maintain your integrity and only worship Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, no matter what's going on. But anyway, so yeah, use not much the company of a woman that is a singer, because she not married right now, and this was the point in my other video where I was like, let me approach this the right way, because seeing as how very many women, there are very few women that are virgins. Women have had other men in their lives. We under grace and mercy at this point, so I'm not going to just be all harsh towards our women and be like, oh, y'all all harlots or nothing like that, but if you're not a virgin, then you're supposed to behave yourself in a way of understanding that you need mercy. You're not supposed to be out there proud, because they got this thing where they, do the slut walk. They got these different encouragements that they teach our women. Be a hoe until you get to a certain age and then settle down. That shit is way off, A woman was created to be with one man, And so when she gets all these different rods up in her, she gets that spirit of that man gets onto her body, And then you be having all these different spirits from all these different men, and you be bugged the hell out, crazy, wicked and wilding out, It'd be hard to get them spirits and them demons off of you, if you even get them off of you at all. But like the scriptures say, like Paul said, if you be married and then you get left, and then, there's a believer and a non-believer, and if one of them leave, then the believer's not in the transgression, So, there's mercy. But that don't give you, we're not supposed to use this grace as let's get it, man. Because just because you get grace don't mean you're supposed to just go around, and just do stuff all willy-nilly. I got grace. I'm going to eat this pork. I'm going to go be a hoe because God will forgive me. He know my heart. Yeah, you know that your heart is wicked. 1 Peter 2 and let's see here, 16. Now I'll say 13. Submit yourselves to every ordinance of man for the Lord's sake, whether it be to the king as supreme, or unto governors as unto them that are sent by him, for the punishment of evildoers and for the praise of them that do well. Now, first and foremost, the ultimate law is the most highest law. That's why it says we ought to obey the most high rather than man. Now you don't just go out there and just be a lawless person. But if the law is telling you to do something against the most high's laws, as we see through the scriptures, like where they made in the Maccabees, where they were trying to make people eat pork and sacrifice abominations. In that case, no, you can't go with the authority. You see, in that case, no, because now you're disobeying the most high and you being a man pleaser. But so we take this with a grain of salt. For so is the will of the Most High, that with well doing ye may put to silence the ignorance of foolish men, as free, and not using your liberty for a cloak of maliciousness, but as the servants of the Most High. But the point is, just because you got grace, don't use that as a cloak of maliciousness. I'll get grace, so I'm gonna go be a hoe. I'm gonna go suck a dick on stage. No, man, you going to fuck off. You don't repent from doing this type of shit, you're gonna die, because you lead many women astray. You're not teaching women how to be godly women. It's just not how you do it. 1 Timothy 2:9, in like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel, not showing your titties, not titties all out, showing cleavage, all this makeup and stuff. That's not modest, that's flashy. With shamefacedness and sobriety, seriousness, not with braided hair or gold or pearls or costly array. Ecclesiasticus 26:15, a shamefaced and faithful woman is a double grace, and her continent mind cannot be valued. Continent means able to be contained. A mind that's able to be controlled. I ain't talking about that type of continent. Able to control movements of the bowels or bladder, exercising self-restraint, especially sexually. This ain't self-restraint. This is lack thereof. We already read that. So yeah, that's the point, man. That's the point. You women that out there that's listening and learning, I'm sure you already know, but this is not a good example to live by. Everybody thought so well of Jill Scott, but the truth of the matter is, it's very hard to find a woman that is actually trying to be a godly woman. And being in the mainstream, I mean, she has even less reason to be a godly woman. She was probably put up to this, Anyway, all praise, honor, glory go to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakar Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, love, and salutation to you, hopefully elect out there, you women and you children that's listening. With that, I'll say shalom.